Welcome to today's deep dive. We are exploring a fact sheet and some really interesting program excerpts for the Cogni-Enhance coaching program for parents.
Right, which is offered by Boston City campus.
Exactly. And our mission for you today is, well, we're decoding that universal homework battle. We really want to understand what actually breaks in a child's brain when they get stuck.
Because, every parent knows that incredibly distinct shift that happens right at the kitchen table.
Oh, absolutely. Like
Yeah.
1 minute you are explaining a math problem, your kid is nodding, they totally get it.
Yeah, and then literally 2 minutes later, they hit the next problem and they are just, under the table, crying, shouting, completely melting down.
It happens so fast.
Yeah.
And standard parenting advice always jumps straight to managing the behavior, right? Like setting up a quiet space or using a reward chart.
Or just trying to validate their feelings, which, sure, that has a place, but it only addresses the emotional fallout.
Right. To actually fix this daily battle, the Boston City campus material suggests we have to rewind. We have to go back to the exact fraction of a second where their thinking actually breaks.
Yeah, because it is not that the child forgot the math. It is that as a task demands more focus or maybe has multiple steps, their thinking just becomes unstable.
And it looks like they're rushing or, guessing wildly or just flat out refusing to try.
Which we naturally tend to mislabel as a bad attitude or a lack of effort.
Right. You're just not trying hard enough.
Exactly. But really, it is cognitive strain.
It makes me think of an old computer running out of RAM. Like you open one too many tabs and the mouse starts skipping across the screen.
Oh, that is a great way to put it. The fan gets really loud, the system freezes.
Yeah, it stutters right before the whole thing just crashes to a blue screen.
And when a child starts rushing or guessing, that is the stuttering mouse. That is what they call the invisible cognitive wobble.
The invisible wobble, I like that.
Right. And by the time the actual emotional meltdown happens, which is the blue screen in your analogy, your chance to actually help has totally passed.
Because at that point, you are no longer teaching math. You are strictly in disaster recovery mode.
Exactly. You were just doing damage control.
So, okay, since we cannot fix a RAM issue just by telling a computer or, a kid to calm down, how do we rebuild that cognitive stability?
Well, the Cogni-Enhance program targets 4 specific pillars of thinking to do this. First is attention.
Which is really just taking the information in, right?
Right. Then there is processing, which is basically working memory.
Like the ability to actually hold on to the numbers while actively calculating them.
Exactly. Then the third pillar is control, or executive function. Think of it as the mental breaks.
Ah, so fighting the urge to just guess the answer so they can go play Minecraft or something.
Spot on. And the final pillar is self-monitoring, also known as metacognition.
Metacognition. So that is a child realizing, wait, I'm reading this question way too fast?
Or, I do not actually understand what I'm supposed to do here.
Okay, I hear that, but honestly,
Yeah.
if I am sitting there and my kid's RAM is maxed out, my instinct is just to step in, just break the math problem into 3 smaller pieces and drag us to the finish line. Why shouldn't a parent just do that?
Because when you do that, you become the RAM.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You are carrying the cognitive load for them just to get the worksheet done. The actual goal of this program is to shift from carrying the load to coaching it.
So instead of stepping in and saying, okay, first add the 4 and the 2, what do I do?
You trigger their self-monitoring. You ask something like, where exactly did you get stuck on this step? You want them to recognize their own strain so they can recover independently.
Okay, coaching sounds great in theory, but spotting an invisible wobble before a meltdown sounds, I don't know, like you need a psychology degree. How does a busy parent actually learn to do this without adding another hour of homework to their own plate?
Well, Boston City campus actually structured this as a 12-week, 100% online short learning program, and there are 0 entry requirements.
Oh, that is really accessible.
Yeah, it moves through 3 phases: building foundations, managing increasing demand, and developing independence.
And in that building foundations phase, you learn a really tangible tactic,
All right.
observing without rescuing.
Yes. You watch for physical tells, like a heavy sigh, pencil tapping, maybe they're just staring into space.
And instead of intervening, you just note what triggers the strain.
Exactly. You are just gathering data.
And what is great for you as a listener is that you do not need dedicated practice time for this. The weekly applied practice happens right in the trenches of everyday parenting.
Oh, for sure. You use these tactics to recognize strain during the morning rush or, a screen time negotiation or doing chores.
So you are addressing the trouble exactly where it starts. You stop dealing with the surface behavior and start supporting the underlying mechanics of their thinking.
Which means you no longer have to explain the exact same math problem 5 times every single night.
Thank goodness for that, because by shifting to a coaching role, you build a child's true independence. But before we wrap up, I really want to leave you with a thought.
Okay, let's hear it.
This program is explicitly designed for children, but consider your own life. If recognizing that invisible wobble and applying self-monitoring prevents a meltdown under the kitchen table, how might using those exact same 4 cognitive pillars change the way you handle your own high-pressure, multi-step projects at work?
Oh, that is a great point.
Right. Maybe we all need to check our RAM before we hit our own blue screen. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive.